Okay, hello everybody, this is CD Rudd. I am going to demo how I've been doing dialogue as of late in the comics, or how I make dialogue bubbles. So here's an image I pulled up just off my hard drive, and I'm going to get Honey and Bay to say something. So first thing, put some dialogue down. So I usually use Comic Sans MS. The size varies depending on the comic. Usually, I try to make sure the resolution or the thickness of the lines does not make it more obvious than the thickness of the lines of the main characters, and try to keep it uniform throughout. Okay, so we're just gonna get Honey to say some random gibberish. So sham, uh, lamb, uh, ding, dong. Oops. Let's try that again. I usually write in capitals. Shama, lama, ding, dong. And put some hyphens in there. Shama, lama, ding, dong. So there we go. And then we're going to get Bay to say something. Do-op, do-ah. Do-op. Do-ah. Okay, so there we go. We got dialogue in there. And you're going to notice the dialogue is on two layers. So this is Honey and Bay both talking. So next thing I do is I draw a circle. So I pick the circle tool on the left here, and I draw a circle that encompasses the words. Now, coloring, it's almost always a different color than what I want, so I change it to white and make sure the stroke or line thickness is about the same as the dialogue. And I do the same for it. Now, sometimes when I have the same person talking, I'll add a second circle, but I'll show you one circle, then I'll have Honey or Bay say something more. Okay, so we got two circles down, one for Bay's dialogue and one for Honey's dialogue. So I'm going to select the rectangle tool. I'm going to go up to this area here, and I'm going to select the join and make sure the circle is selected in layers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw just a square on that circle. What this does is it basically makes both those shapes on one layer, and then the outline is on the shapes combined. So if you look closely, you can see circle, rectangle, and the outline encompasses both of them because it's on the same layer. Then I pick I forget which tool it's called, the direct selection tool, the white arrow. I take one of the nodes and I bring it up. You can get rid of the node if you want. I usually just bring it up, so that way I can mess with it a little bit more if I want. And that's how I do it. Next, I'm going to do Bay's dialogue. So I select the circle in the layer. Make sure you actually select the circle, the dialogue, the vector dialogue there, or vector shape. Again, rectangle, and I make sure I'm in add. So you have a single, add, subtract, and intersect, and I forget what the other two are. So add will add it. If you use subtract will take away from it. So again, use the direct selection tool, select one of the nodes, bring it up, and then I point the node there. Now let's say Honey says more things, and I want the more things to appear. So shalala ding dong, do-op do-ah, and then I'm going to have Honey say again sha bing bing, like she's kind of responding to what Bay's saying. I know the levels aren't exactly nice. Usually if Honey's going to be saying first, it'll be higher than what Bay's saying it, because left and right, we read left and right and up and down, up to down. So I would move this actually higher. Actually, let's do that. I'm going to move Shamalama Ding Dong higher than Bay's discussion and closer. And I'm going to move her whole circle. Oh, that's wrong circle. To Shamalama Ding Dong. And again, I'm going to select the node tool to bring it down so she's saying it. I'm going to move it so it's over here. So, shamalama ding dong, doo-op doo-ah is Bay's response, and then Honey is going to respond by saying shabing bing. Yep, gotta select move tool. So, again, since Honey is saying the same thing, and this kind of gets a little bit tricky sometimes when I'm doing dialogue overlapping each other. But I'm going to make sure, in this case, I'm going to make sure I select Honey's dialogue again. I'm going to use an add tool, only for circle this time. And then I'm going to use a rectangle, still an add, and still have the same area shape, or same area selected, and add that. So now it connects two bubbles. I'm going to move the nodes around. Now you notice that the bubbles are kind of, well, the dialogue is kind of circular and whatnot, and a lot of times it's supposed to appear more oval. You want to get, sometimes I want to get rid of this extra space. So I just used the direct selection tool and just move the nodes of the circles. So that way I get it how I want it to look. So there we go. Shamalana ding dong, shloop da doo, and sha bing bing. And that is how I make dialogue. Now if I want to, I can also take this, like, oh, I'm gonna take this node and move it down here so it looks a little more neater, and you can do that. So basically this is just vector manipulation on a raster image. There's all these circles and squares and triangles and whatnot are basically circles and squares with the nodes just moved around. And that's how I make dialogue. Okay, I hope that helps, and have fun making comics.